Welcome! In this series of short videos, we will look at topics common to both the PowerBasic console and Windows compilers. Today we will look again at printing from within your application. In our previous video, we looked at the basics of using the xprint command from within PowerBasic Windows or PowerBasic console compiler to send information to your printer. We're going to expand on that a little bit today. If we run the program as it was the last time we used it, this asks us to select a PDF file to print, as we're printing to PDF files here. And it displays the PDF file once the file has been created. Showing on the PDF is a text message, test printing to PDF, and it also prints out the canvas size of the particular sheet of paper we're printing to at the moment, which is an A4 sheet of paper. It's also demonstrating the use of the word wrap feature, so you can send a long string of text to the printer and it will word wrap round to the following line. We're also displaying a pie chart on the page. What we're going to do today is we're going to use different sizes of papers and different orientations. What we'll do first is we'll set up a couple of constants, one for portrait and two for landscape. Using the xprint command, the first thing you should do is to attach your printer by name. In this case, we're using the Microsoft Print to PDF, as at the moment I don't have a physical printer attached to my computer. If this returns an error number of 0, then we have successfully attached to the printer. And we can print a simple piece of text just using the xprint command followed by the text. We're then pulling back the canvas size to two variables, and we're also printing this to the printer. We're setting up word wrap, and then we're printing some text to be word wrapped. What we're going to do today is we're going to see what paper sizes the printer we've attached to actually supports. We can do that using the Get Papers command. This puts the value of the papers we can support in our printer to a variable, which we will declare. If we put that out to the log just to see what it says, and if we run that now, pick our PDF file, and we will see it's putting a string of information out to our log. The value 1 refers to letter size paper, 3 for tabloid, 5 for legal, 6 for statement, 7 for executive, and so on. So which one is it currently set to? We can tell that by using the Get Paper command to return the value to the Get Paper variable. And of course we can put that out to the log as well. And if we run that now, we'll see the value we're getting back is value 9, which is A4. Now if we wish to change that to a different value, all we have to do is to use one of the preset constants in the system. We're going to use the xprint set paper command, and we're going to use A3 as our type. If in doubt, you can always have a look at the help file, and the help file gives a list of all the predetermined paper sizes that the xprint command will support. It does say that there may well be other paper style codes not currently defined by Windows, but by your printer supplier. You can use the xprint get papers to obtain a list of all the paper styles supported by whatever the attached host printer actually is. And using that number, you can use it to set it to whatever you need. So we're setting to A3 here. So if we re-get the value from the printer to find what the paper size is, and we run this now, we will find it's pulling back number 8, so it successfully has changed the paper size to size 8. And if we have a look at the PDF file, we'll find that the canvas size has now become bigger, and the actual size of the page is indeed larger. So we can quite easily change the size of the paper we wish to use just by the use of the one command. We can further change the orientation of the paper by using the set orientation command, which, using the constants we set up earlier, is either going to be landscape or portrait. So if we run that one, we'll find that we are now running landscape, and you'll see the canvas size has changed again. Now there are other commands you can actually use to control how the printer is actually configured. For example, if you want your print to come out in monochrome, you can use the xprint set color mode monochrome. Now many printers only support either monochrome or they support monochrome in color, so obviously this will only have an effect if the printer can support what you're asking it to do. So if we tell the printer to support color rather than monochrome, then the printer will only print in color if it has a color cartridge. Additionally, you can control the number of copies the printer prints out by using the set copies command. This way you can actually have multiple copies of each of the printouts. You may of course want to use the duplex feature if it's configured in your printer by using the set duplex, which can either be simplex, for example single-sided printing only. It can be duplex where the page is flipped on the vertical side or on the horizontal side, like so. Additionally, you may be lucky enough to have a printer that has a collator, so you can collate multiple prints and multiple copies quite happily. PowerBasic does support this using the getCollate function to work out what the collation status of your printer is, and an additional command can be used to set the collation either to be true or false. Obviously again, the printer will only support what it can physically do. If you attempt to set some configuration the printer cannot support, it will return error 5, which you can trap in your code and act accordingly. The other thing we didn't mention in our last video is how you manage a page break. Say for example, if we look down our code here, having printed the text out to the printer and the line, we want to put a page break in here before the chart gets shown. That can quite easily be done by using the form feed command, which will effectively do a page break for you. If we try running that now, and the long string of text is now no longer long enough to need wrapped round to the following line. We have our horizontal line, and on the second page, page 2, our chart and bitmap are actually shown. So we have added a few more commands you can actually use to control your printers. It's always best to use the get commands to get the status of the printer back before you attempt to use a particular piece of functionality. The xprint get trays command can be used to pull back a list of all the trays that particular printer has. So if you wish to use an envelope tray on the printer, it's always best to use the get trays command to ensure that that particular printer does actually have an envelope tray. Hopefully this has expanded on your ability to use the xprint command. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.